Hey guys, it's SoundKiller, and today I'm gonna show you how you can build a full music production PC from scratch. I'm gonna show you what I did, the budget. I'll give you guys some performance benchmarks, some test results, and show you an overall scope on how to start and build your very own computer. And this is a very fun project for you to do because since we've been in quarantine for quite some time now, you're probably at your home in the computer. Maybe you have an old laptop and want to upgrade. And want to make this video especially for you if you want to upgrade and have a real workstation computer that you can use not only for making music and other types of content, but it's also a great gaming PC. And I'll show you guys the results of those games, the frames that you can play. It's gonna be an overall PC, very solid build for a very great budget. So if you have a tight budget, don't want to spend too much, this is the video for you. So let's jump in and start talking about the products I chose, what are the specs of the PC, and continue with the build. So for this PC, I went with a Ryzen 3 3200 series CPU paired with a Gigabyte B450M motherboard, 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, a 450 watt power supply, a RX 570 graphics card, a 256 gigabyte SSD, and a 2 terabyte hard drive, totaling the cost of the build at around $600. So to start off, I'm going to be placing the CPU into the motherboard and I'm going to snap it right into place. Right after, I'm just going to clip and screw in the CPU fan, screwing in an X pattern as you can see, just so that it has even pressure. Then I'm going to plug in the fan into the motherboard, plugging it into the CPU fan socket. Now I'm adding the RAM sticks. I had two 8GB sticks of RAM. Now I'm adding the SSD into the PC. It's a 256GB NVMe SSD for installing the OS into. Now that I finally got the motherboard ready, I'm gonna put it inside the case and I'm gonna be screwing in the motherboard into place into the case, again following the X pattern, trying to have even pressure on all sides. I was struggling a bit because some parts, because of this particular case that I had chosen, it was a bit difficult to screw everything in place and have everything nicely set. Anyways, once I screw in the motherboard, I am going to start plugging in the cables from the power supply into the motherboard. And while I do this, I am gonna be cable managing the computer. So I'm just gonna be very thoughtful on where I'm plugging everything in, having everything neatly organized and cable managed so that I can then zip tie everything into place. Also adding the USB headers for the top of the case. Plugging in also the power buttons, all those kinds of things, plugging everything in before I install the GPU, because once I actually install the GPU, it's gonna be a bit troublesome to have more space to plug in the cable, so it's a lot easier. So now I have my GPU, which is an RX 570. And I'm gonna be installing it into the motherboard. I'm gonna screw it in. I was mentioning how curious it was because this PC is for a friend of mine. So I was saying how curious it is to see that this GPU has a 6-pin connector instead of an 8-pin connector. which I'm plugging in, as you guys can see in the video. Now I'm adding some extra case fans just to keep it cool. And again, cable management is everything. I'm very thoughtful about how I manage the cables in the PC. Then I'm gonna add the hard disk, which I'm doing there. It can't be seen on camera because it was a bit tricky to install the actual hard drive, but I'm installing a 2 terabyte Seagate Barracuda drive. Very good drive. I'd recommend it 100%. Plugging in the missing cables that are left to be plugged in. And there we go. Look at that beautiful PC, how it looks. Just like some final cable management. And I'm gonna be very honest, cable management does take a lot of time to do. So if you guys want to take your time on managing your cable, it's gonna lead for a very nice clean computer. As you can guys see at the back of the PC, look at how nicely I've organized the cables. And there we go. This is the PC I built. Very nice PC. Hopefully you guys actually think about following this guide if you want to build a PC. I'm going to be posting a part 2 on how I install the OS, so stay tuned for that.